Hello everyone!
Hello!
And welcome to Kirsty and Briony's Comfort Zone.
I am Kirsty.
And I am Briony, and we are oneromancers. Oneromancers? Oneronauts? What would a manse be?
Magic.
Oh, in that case...
Dream magic.
We are dream wizards.
I'm
Exploring
a dream wizard.
dreams. That reminds me actually... Straight off, already distracted.
Yeah.
I am reading a Miss Marple book at the moment. I think you would really like it.
Uh-huh.
Because, are you a fan of Miss Marple?
I've never really absorbed any Miss Marple media. But I think I probably would.
I think just because of, like, old lady detective vibes.
Yeah, I think I'd enjoy.
At the start of the one I'm reading is basically one of her old lady friends is on her way to meet her when she witnesses a murder, and then the two of them old lady together. And I was like, this is very us vibes. Because they'd be like, oh, okay, well, first things first, we'll have some tea, and we probably shouldn't discuss murder over tea, and then afterwards you can tell me all about it.
Yes, it just won't do to discuss murder over tea. It ruins the taste.
It reminded me of it because there's one bit where someone has a sandwich, and then they're like, did you make this sandwich? It's absolutely wizard. I was like, is that a phrase that people used in the 50s? Like, absolutely wizard.
Absolutely wizard.
Capital sandwich. But yeah, it is good.
I still have an old Poirot that I need to read.
Oh.
Yeah, I've just got it's a Parallel End House. I got it from like a family member's old book collection. And I was like, oh, I'll give that a read at some point. Problem is I just don't ever read.
Yeah.
That's my issue. I've said it once, I've said it a million times.
She can't read.
I can't read. Unless I'm on holiday next to a pool, and then I can read.
I have got more into the habit of reading, but then recently I've been reading this book that it just like hasn't really inspired me to pick it up. It's an okay book, but I'm reading it because I'm reading it rather than being like, oh, what happens next? Like, I'm not excited for it.
Yeah.
But then I've stopped that book halfway to read a Ms. Marple book for the book club, and I'm enjoying that one. So I am inspired to... In fact, that's why I was late today, because I was reading my book. And I swear I set a timer on Alexa, and she just ignored me. And then I was like, I've read a lot in this time. I was like, oh, it's because I've had infinite time. But you have not been having dreams recently.
I haven't.
Is this so?
That is so. I've not been very well, again.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just sick all the time. But recently, yeah, I didn't end up going to the doctors. I was like, I'll go to the doctors if it gets bad, but it didn't get too bad. But I went to a pharmacist just to get some medicine, and they reckon I had an upper respiratory infection, so that was cool. So I've just been coughing and wheezing like the Pokemon for at least a week now, and I'm still not completely over it. But yeah, as a result, I've just not been dreaming. I've just been coughing instead.
Yeah, that's stinky.
I think I might have had like some weird, half dreams that I've just forgotten. But I've been so tired. Like, one of the first symptoms when I started getting ill was that I was so fatigued. That I think I was just like sleeping real deep the whole time.
I think just the weather has suddenly just like plummeted, and all of a sudden it's just been so grey and cold and uninspiring that all I've wanted to do is just eat and sit under a blanket. I've not wanted to do anything.
Yeah, same, pretty much. I put up my little Christmas tree. I don't generally put up a tree because I come down for Jingle Jam and there's not really any point. I don't really see it. But I figured I've got like a week to look at it before I go to Bristol.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put up my little tree and I don't have any fairy lights, but I have the fairy lights that I have behind me when I'm on stream, and I've been able to like pull them around and put them on the tree. So having those little fairy lights and the tinsel on the tree, I see why Christmas trees are such a nice wintry thing, because when it's so dark and miserable, just seeing the tree in the corner of the room is just so nice.
This is why I don't begrudge anyone putting their tree up early, because I'm like, if it brings you joy, just heckin' do it.
I love it. one of my favourite things about this time of year is when people put like lights up on their houses and have their trees in the window and stuff. I love seeing the fairy lights. I think people should just have fairy lights up all the time.
Yeah.
Because they're just so nice. They're so pretty. They bring me joy.
I was thinking this year, I was actually looking at them yesterday. I was thinking of getting some like garlands that go over doorways. Because we've got like big open plan living rooms. So we could just have a garland going over the top of it.
Yeah.
And you can get pre-lit ones. So I was like, that's quite fancy and quite convenient. So I am tempted to treat myself to one of those from The Range. If you're listening, The Range, and want to sponsor my Christmas.
I'd love for The Range to sponsor us. I love The Range so much.
Just every episode would have to be like, well, I've had a range of dreams.
Oh, hashtag ad.
I remember there was a time where, I'm going to name names, Christopher Yules was like, he went to The Range for the first time and he was like, they've got so much different stuff in there. I was like, yes, it's called The Range.
So they have a range of things.
It's in the name, Christopher. Bless him. I have had a range of dreams this week. Well, I've had 2. Does 2 count as a range?
You can't say that. They're not sponsoring us yet.
Oh, yeah. I've had
some dreams.
I've had 2 dreams. Well, actually, I had 3 dreams, but I didn't record one. But I'm so excited to tell you about it. It's the briefest little snippet is all I remember, but I feel it's significant. So, basically, it was like I loaded into the dream and there was not one, but 2 screens, and one of them was my normal dream and the other one was my dream in third person.
Oh my God.
It was like I was watching, you know when they do like a comparison between updated graphics or something like that?
Yeah.
It was like that, and I was just watching 2 dreams at the same time.
Oh my God.
But I was watching one of them in third person, just like, oh, look at that. This must be how Kirsty dreams.
I love it. Yay. Oh, that's so good.
But I don't really remember anything that happens. I think I was in like a cave or something. The only thing I really remember about it is that the 2 screens were too wide for my head. So even though I was in my head having the dream, I was also having to like look back and forth between them. It was just that weird sort of dream magic where it just works. But
yeah,
it was very odd. But other than that, I have had dreams that I have actually recorded that I have no memory of, as per usual.
Lovely.
But yeah, we could even jump straight in and listen to one of them.
I would love that.
Let's do it. Let's splash around.
Oh.
So this one, it was the 15th of November. So a couple weeks ago now. But yeah, here we go.
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go. I had a dream that I was in what was meant to be the office, but it looked nothing like the office. Like it had a fountain in it and all of this stuff. And Tom came in and he was like, everyone, I want you to meet my new mod. And I looked up and it was this guy who I had known, who I'd had like a falling out with because he'd done something bad. And I was like, oh no, I need to let Tom know, but I'll be civil for now. But as soon as I get to talk to Tom alone, I need to let him know just so he knows. And then there was this whole thing about how Tom had lost his shoes and TJ had been asked to look for them, and he was saying he was going to make him pay for them if he couldn't find them. And I was like, they're just in his office. I saw them earlier. Something else happened in the office, but I can't remember what it was. We were talking about something, but I've lost that bit. Because then it jumped to me staying in this garden in like, it was sort of like a shed, but like a cross between a shed and a conservatory. And I was sat there and I saw this cat walk by outside and I was like, oh, a cat. And then they came in and they were like black, but they had some fur missing on their neck and they had like a round orange shape on one of their sides. And I was like cuddling them, and then all of a sudden I just felt them like bap me in the back of the head, and I was just like, oh, what the heck? And then I was like lying on the floor with this cat, and another cat came in, and I remember it specifically being a ginger cat, but I remember it also being a lady, which I guess is strange. And I was like, "Oh, you're beautiful," and then she literally just bat me right in the eye, and I was just like, "What the heck?" I was like, "Oh, no, I'm done with these cats." And I remember looking outside, and there was like 5 cats, and one of them was trying to drink out of a pond by standing in the middle of it, and they were just being ridiculous. And I remember thinking, whoever stayed here before must have fed the cats. But I think that's about all I remember. I remember there was like a vanity mirror that was actually iPods stuck together on not iPods, iPads stuck together on the side. That's about it. It was a lovely garden though. But yeah, the end. Bye bye. There you go.
Well, there you
Just
go.
got bapped by cats for
That was
a
nice.
dream. Yeah.
Getting backed by a cat. Love that. Love that for you.
I found it funny how, for some reason, I was just like, because am I right in thinking that orange cats are mostly boys?
Yes.
In the same way that calico cats are ladies.
Basically, the way that like the genes and stuff work, the gene would make a male cat ginger and a female cat calico or torty. Sorry.
Ah, okay. Because I just remember specifically this cat walked in and I was just like, but you're a woman. I don't know how I knew. I was just like, hang on. Maybe she had little eyelashes, like when cartoons are trying to say if they're a boy or a girl. It's like, oh, hang on, you're a ginger woman's walked
Oh my
in.
God.
And then just punched me in the eye. The beginning bit of the dream, I think I was either seeing Tom the next day, or I had seen him that day. I think I was seeing him the next day because I remember thinking, I had a dream about him and he won't want to hear it.
Was this Tom Clark? Yeah, if you didn't want to hear
Yeah.
it. You used to dream about him so much.
I do. He lives rent-free in my head.
He really does.
But I looked up shoes, as he had lost his shoes.
Yeah, he'd lost his shoes and he was threatening people to find them.
He was. Classic Tom.
It sounds like Tom.
It says shoes signify our ability or otherwise to be grounded and in touch with everyday life. So apparently I think that Tom has lost his grounding. He's too big for his boots now, that Thomas.
Oh, it's a good thing he lost them then. He's going to have to buy some new ones.
Buy some really big boots. But I think the other thing was because it was his moderator that he'd got. And I remember around about this time, I remember talking to someone, it might have even been you and Rithian, but talking about how difficult it can be to find and choose moderators. Because it is an odd one. I think someone I knew had had a problem with a moderator or something like that.
Right.
And I got talking...
we have talked about, like, mods and streaming and stuff before. I don't know. I don't remember us talking about that specifically, but, I mean, we might have at some point.
I'm trying to think who it would have been. But it was like... I remember saying something about how it can be difficult to... I've realised it was Router. I was talking to Router about it.
Okay.
Because I think we were talking about, like, very often the people that you choose for mods are just the people who are around more. And I think we were talking about times when you've then moderated someone and they have just, like, completely changed. And you're just like, given a bit of, like, authority and power. And they're all of a sudden just like, wah. And you're like, no, I've created a monster. But it's also quite a difficult thing. Like, obviously, in an ideal world... we would be in a position to be able to pay people to give up their time and do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But when you don't, there's that sort of like awkward, well, they are giving up their free time. So you don't want to you're not in a position to be like, you must be here and at this time. Like, I've never felt like that anyway, to be fair. Very often my mods will come to me and be like, I'm so sorry I can't be around more. And I'm just like, it's fine. I'm just grateful for when you are around, sort of thing. And
yeah, exactly.
I am very blessed that I don't really get much trouble anyway. I was saying to you the other day when someone came in and dropped a Mass Effect spoiler, I think I just waited about 5 minutes for one of my mods to show up and then was just like, here's a treat for you. Just scroll up and find someone to ban. And they were like, got it. There it is. Okay. But I don't usually get, I know some communities have it a lot worse with people being stinky and having to have more things in place.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it is a tough one.
It do be tough. It do be.
Oh, I think I remember what it was. I think it was that a couple of my mods have, like, had to go back into the office recently, or they've got to take some time off and that sort of thing. And I think I was just thinking through, if I did have to pick a new one, who would it be?
Right.
And that's why I think just getting back into that mindset of who, like, having to think of a new person, I think that might be what triggered it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Tom's shoes. I don't know why poor TJ would have to pay for them if he couldn't find them. That seems mean. I've been watching a lot of Tom's stuff at the moment. I think that's the very simple basis for why I would dream about him. I've been watching his Silent Hill playthrough.
Yeah. I suppose you can't really talk about it just in case you'd be spoiling his playthrough.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about it. I really enjoyed Silent Hill 2. I never played the original, but I had a really good time playing it.
It seems... I mean, I never saw any of the originals, so I don't know. Did you ever play the original? Is it, like, how much of an improvement is it to the original?
People who played the original that I've spoken to, I don't think they think it's an improvement.
Oh, okay.
But I liked it. Because basically what's happened is that it's got the Resident Evil treatment, where a lot of old games are getting these remasters and they're all sort of becoming very similar. Like, if you looked at a screenshot from Silent Hill 2 remake, you might struggle to distinguish between that and Resident Evil 2 remake or Resident Evil 3 remake, because they all look very similar. They have very similar gameplay loops and stuff. Whereas the original media was a lot more unique, ? But as someone who never played the original, I really liked it. I had a great time. But one of the things that Daltos said specifically was that they kind of made it into an action game, which I don't disagree with. Like, I think the original was a lot more atmospheric, but again, I was okay with that.
Yeah.
I still was spooked sufficiently, despite then hitting the spooks with a big stick until they died. I had a very good time. But yeah, no, I really liked it, and I'm glad that you're editing it, because I know that you wouldn't play it yourself. Yeah. So I can still ask you questions about it.
It's a good way to sort of safely watch through it and not have to play it myself, because I think I would be too... I mean, maybe I'd be okay. I don't know. We should play through scary games together, and then I can be brave by being not brave.
I would do that. We can do a series on our YouTube called The Discomfort Zone and just play horror games.
Yes! I'd be down for that.
I love a horror game.
I realise we've not got the scary book out for a while, speaking of horror, and it is unhinged.
Oh.
I don't know. The section for Cat is quite a big section, but it's also... I'll read it out and then we can decide if we leave it in or not.
Okay.
Okay, so it says, strap in. It says, the cat signifies a cunning thief. If anyone dreams they are fighting with a cat that badly scratches them, that signifies sickness or affliction. A cat washing itself signifies that you command respect and love when your affections are placed. If the cat is restless, be wary of treacherous friends. It denotes to the lover that his or her sweetheart is treacherous. Cats are having a really bad day in this book.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. God, it is a scary book, isn't it?
It is.
Jeez.
Maybe I'll stick to the other book. Maybe that's too much for a comforting podcast.
That book, it's never had anything good to say.
No.
Has it really? It's just a party pooper.
We've looked up cat before in the dream book, but I'll read it out again just to refresh. It says, to dream of cats is to link with the feline, sensuous side in human beings, usually in women. A woman.
A woman.
The cat denotes the capricious side of the feminine, the elegant but also the powerful, yet overly self-sufficient aspects of woman may also be perceived as the cat. Don't be
overly
too self-sufficient.
Huh?
Just the right amount.
You can't let your woman be too self-sufficient now.
No. It reminds me of a line in Pride and Prejudice where, oh, what is it? It's when Elizabeth Bennet decides that she's going to walk to see her sister, and one of the other women takes offence to it and is just like, it suggests a sort of abominable self-sufficiency that is intolerable in a woman, sort of thing. And I'm just like, how dare she walk herself somewhere? It's just not right.
It's just not right. It's not on.
No.
Really?
How do you feel about... So, you know, back in the day where women were just like meant to sit around and do embroidery and learn the piano and stuff?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, obviously, it is much better that we have rights and equality as insofar as we have it. But also, the idea of just sort of sitting around doing crafts all day, quite nice.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Because I started an embroidery last year and I'm still doing it because it takes ages.
I think doing crafts is nice, but having the option to choose to do anything else,
that's true,
and have your own agency is preferable. I don't know about you, but
yeah. I guess so.
I guess.
What do I want? Do I want voting or craft time?
Oof, tough choice.
This is why I shouldn't be in charge of things.
Oh my gosh.
It does make me laugh though when I'm watching or reading Jane Austen things, and they'll all be in these like massive manor houses and talking about how poor they are whilst their servants are serving them tea and stuff, and they're just like, oh, whatever will we do, we're destitute. And I'm just like, are you though? But yeah, I guess it was feminine wiles hitting me in the face.
Feminine wiles hitting you in the face?
Yeah.
Are there any other parts of it that we've not explored?
There was a vanity mirror that was just iPads stuck together. And I remember they were decoupaged.
Right, okay. More crafts, woo!
Oh, that's what it's all about. Just the feminine urge to sit in a conservatory and do crafts whilst being hit by cats.
Honestly, yeah. Absolutely. Sounds like a dream.
Don't worry about these man problems like shoes and all of that sort of stuff. I'm retiring to the garden now.
Man problems.
To be honest, I think probably a lot of it could be put down to me just missing sunshine and missing nature, because I have spent a lot of time indoors. I've not really had time to like go out for walks and stuff recently, so probably is just my brain was like, wouldn't it be nice to sit in a nice garden and have a bit of peace and quiet?
It is like getting to be that time of the year when it's just dark and sad.
Yeah.
And being in the sun is nice. Like, even as we're recording this, it's 3:30 in the afternoon and the sun is setting. It's almost dark. It's so sad.
I went out for lunch the other day with some friends, and as we were leaving, it was already like getting really dark, and I was like, this is it now, isn't it? Just how it is.
Yep. Just darkness. I need one of those sunlight lamps.
A sad lamp.
A sad lamp by Sad Little Life.
I looked up garden.
Okay.
I don't know if we've looked up garden before, probably. But it says, dreaming of a garden can be fascinating because it may indicate the area of growth in our own lives, or it can be that which we are trying to cultivate in ourselves. It often represents the inner life of the dreamer and that which we totally appreciate about our own being. It's my garden.
It's your garden.
The garden is often the symbol of feminine attributes.
Oh, another one.
And the qualities of wildness, which need to be cultivated and tamed in order to create order. What the heck is trying to tame my lady garden?
Oh my goodness.
Let it be wild. Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
It does also say a garden can represent a form of paradise, as in the Garden of Eden. The dreamer should look to have some spiritual relaxation. Thank you, book. I will.
Yeah, you do that. You go ahead.
Do a little relax. So yeah, it could just be as simple as that.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I think you need to relax more. I think you should go and hang out in that garden and chill.
My brain garden.
Definitely.
We were talking about last night. Actually, I don't know if I should bring this up.
Oh no.
We did a tier list of, I can't remember how we got onto this. We were talking about people spitting at one another, and I said if someone spat in my mouth, I would disassociate immediately and not come back for about 3 years. And then we ended up doing a tier list of bodily fluid in your mouth.
What the fuck?
And how quickly you would disassociate were they to...
Okay, how many bodily fluids were you able to come up with?
It was a surprisingly long list. Because we went for the, the obvious ones at first. Your daily ones. There was like earwax and phlegm. It really kicked off when we got to snot, because that I could not handle. That was the real, just like...
Sorry, everyone. Sorry for this. This is entirely Briony's fault.
It's Tom Hazel's fault. He made me do the tier list.
Of course it is.
But yeah, it just really went downhill then. But yeah, I can't remember why I got onto this. I don't remember what the link was in my head.
Neither do I. I've already dissociated. Oh my god.
But it was horrendous.
Yeah, it sounds it, honestly.
And now I've shared it with all of you, so you must suffer. But there's something in that. What was I talking about? Relaxation?
Yeah, weirdly.
I don't remember the link. I can't get us back to the conversation. I've walked too far down the garden path now. I'm stuck in the brambles of my mind. So anyway, I probably need to relax more.
Yeah, no, I think you probably do, yeah.
And find better things to do with my downtime.
Maybe. Oh my god. Sometimes people think, I don't know if people do anymore, but people think you're wholesome. And then you come out with something like that. And it's like, this is Briony. This is Briony. This is what she's like.
I had a second dream, if you're not already done with the contents of my brain.
Well, I haven't had any dreams, so we're going to have to deal with it, I'm
Yay! Everybody stuck with me!
Fucking hell.
Okay, so this one is fairly recent. This was but 2 days ago. So, and I do remember what this one was, and I found it really funny. It's an old one, but a classic. It's actually quite a new one, but a classic. Okay. And you shall hear classic. Why.
Oldie but a goodie.
Yes. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. I had this dream that I was sat at my computer, and all of a sudden I remember getting a notification that was something about my bottle of Evian was missing or something, and for some reason that alerted me that something was going on. And I was watching
the wrestling, and I think I was watching like clips of it or something, because I just saw an end part where all of a sudden this wrestler was like, and I will be fighting Briony or something, or they said that like they were turned against me, and then some other wrestler stepped forth and was like, I will be defending her and blah blah blah. And I was just like, wait, what? And all of a sudden I had this thing of being like, oh my gosh, I'm being called up. I accidentally signed up to be a wrestler or something ages ago, and now they're making good on it. And I was like, I don't want to be a wrestler. And I was like, maybe I can just be one of the people who, you know, just escorts the wrestlers to the ring or something, and sometimes gets involved in the stories and stuff. I was like, but then I suddenly had this thing where I was like, maybe I could be a wrestler. Maybe if I start working out now, by the time they call me in, I could be a wrestler. And I went down to the place. Oh, that was the other thing. I remember thinking, well, at least I get a free gym membership as a wrestler. And all I remember is going down to the place, and I was trying to get through to the end of this corridor, and there were just people sat all around this sofa, and I couldn't get around one way and I couldn't get around the other, and I was just panicking. And I think it was meant to be all like these ladies who were all wrestlers, and I was like, I don't want to mess with them, sort of thing. And then eventually one was just like, oh, don't worry, I'll clear the way for you. And I went around there and I was just like, oh, thank you. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not cut out to be a wrestler. Dear, oh dear. And the only other bit I remember was talking to Alex and being like, we have to make sure that at the end of every show we have a good talk about like how we're doing, because they use a lot of real life stuff in wrestling, and I never want there to be any misunderstandings. So yeah, we need to check in after every show. But yeah, dear oh dear. Well, the end. Bye bye.
There you go. Wrestling, it's back.
Wrestling is so bad. Well, yeah, we're missing a bit of a wrestling dream, aren't we? So there you go. Now you're a wrestler and you've got your free gym membership.
Yeah, it's got its benefits being a wrestler. Free gym.
I love the bit at the end though where you're like, we have to check in after every show. That's so nice.
I think it's because we were watching one recently where a wrestler was doing this like promotion against another wrestler, and he said it was something really like, whoa, geez. He said like, I'm gonna take you down like how your mum shot your dad or something. And we were like,
oh my god.
And we were saying like, when wrestlers sign up, do they literally just have to fill out a section that just says, this is my trauma that I'm okay for you to use, by the way?
Yeah.
Like, because obviously they must have cleared that and said, yeah, I'm okay for that to be used in a storyline.
The thing is, I assume this is AEW.
Yeah.
I think like historically there have been times where people have just sort of gone off script, right? And they've said things that the other wrestlers been like, whoa, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, that has happened.
I think in the Attitude Era that was like, happened a lot. I would hope that in AEW and in this day and age it's more
less common.
Yeah, like talked through and they clear stuff.
Yeah. I feel like you're still bound to get these personalities though that feel like
boundary pushers,
yeah, like they know best, you know, they're the star, they can say what they want and they can't be touched, sort of thing. Like, not naming any names, I don't know enough wrestling names to, you know, to name names, but there's always someone, isn't there? That's a bit like that. But it must have been so tough, like, to be a wrestler like during that era where you would get told these storylines, and you just kind of had to roll with it. You know? Like you would, you'd basically lose your job if you didn't, sort of thing. Like, I mean, there's a whole awful side to wrestling, which a lot of wrestling fans know about. We won't go into that, but yeah, just like to do all of these storylines, which, I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of it is acting, because they are actors, but there are some where, especially like fans, that fans don't know where the line is sometimes. And if you're like a heel, or if you're, the butt of the joke and you're humiliating yourself every week, it must really kind of get to you sometimes, right? Like,
yeah. Also, having said that, I think in a way, if I was going to be a wrestler, I'd sort of rather be a heel, because I think it's easier from like a self-preservation side of things. It's easier to be like, I'm playing a character and they're meant to hate me. Whereas if you're
good and
meant to be loved, and then you're like, this isn't right. Like, because there have been times where, like, Cody Rhodes back when he was in AEW, and he would just get, like, people just wouldn't get on his side, and he was meant to be loved, and people just didn't, and it felt really like, oh, bless him.
That's often when they sort of turn them into heels, isn't it? It's like, well, they hate you anyway. So.
Yeah. Just be like, we wanted you to hate him. We got you.
We got you. We were thinking that all along.
Whereas sometimes you have the opposite of that, like with MJF. He's meant to be the bad guy, but everyone loves him so much. Like, they love to hate him because he's so good. So he comes out and everyone's like, yeah, wait, no, boo, yeah.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, I think I am, given how I am like done in for the day, if I stub my toe, I don't think I'm cut out to be a wrestler.
I'd love to see you as a heel. I think that would be incredible to watch. That would be something to behold.
We could be a tag team.
Oh my god. What would we be?
We'd have to be like all dream-themed moves.
Oh, yeah.
We could be called Nightmare, and we come out as a pantomime horse.
Who's the ass?
I'll be the ass. And then
when we have to wrestle, we have to like split up, and there's still just ass.
Yeah. And the finisher would be something like "go to sleep" or something, like "sweet dreams."
We zip ourselves back together and just like land on top of the
other. And our entrance music would be "Sweet Dreams" by the Eurythmics. So just come out to that. Oh, it'd be so good.
It would be good. It would be good. Anyone want to wrestle?
What was that I was thinking of the other day? Well, no, weren't we talking about Hobbit wrestling?
What? Were we?
There was someone I was talking to, because we were saying like it would be like Lord of the Rings, and how they would have a move called like Second Breakfast and stuff like this. I can't remember who I was talking to this about. It said about having a Hobbit themed tag team. I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't know if it was me.
It turns out I just talk a lot of shit all the time.
Yeah.
With anyone who'll listen. And that's why I have a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, dear.
I looked up Lost because I realised that in the previous dream, Tom had lost his shoes, and in this one, I had lost my, very specifically, Evian bottle. Don't know why. I'm dreaming big this time. And it says, to have lost something in a dream may mean that we have forgotten matters which could be important. This may be an opportunity, a friend, or a way of thought which has previously sustained us. To suffer loss suggests that part of ourselves or our lives is now dead, and we must learn to cope without it.
Oh my god.
I mean, it was just a bottle of Evian. I don't know if any of my friends are signified by Evian. I have a friend who specifically doesn't like Evian.
Only Evian? That's just a brand they don't like? Or
she says that Buxton water is much tastier than Evian. We were talking about bottled water when we were on holiday at Centre Parks, and that just stuck with me. Because then I do have a bottle of Evian in the fridge right now that I'm saving for a special occasion, and I remember feeling guilty when I bought it because I was thinking, she did say she doesn't like them.
I feel like this whole episode has been me not feeling well and just being like, yeah, and then Briony just saying the wildest shit.
Yeah. Welcome to Comfort Zone, everyone.
Oh my god.
I should never be allowed to take the reins on anything, I think.
It's so funny. Oh, do you think that bottled water tastes different depending on the brand? I think they're onto something there.
Yes.
I think if you buy like the really cheap stuff, it's probably not going to taste as good. But I think that smart water is a con.
Yeah.
What's so smart about it? Does it have a degree?
I recently, as a vegetarian and then going into a vegan, I am used to having to like read a lot of ingredient labels on things. But recently I had to go into a shop and read the ingredients labels on bottles of water. Because the vet recommended that the bunnies start drinking bottled water because of the they need to be on a low calcium diet, and Bristol water is very hard. So I was like, okay, I'll do everything I can for my babies, my precious babies. So I stood and I read every single label on bottled water in the supermarket to find the lowest calcium water that I could. So I think it must taste different because there are big variations in the mineral contents of water.
I think it does. It does taste different.
I don't think I could do like a taste test and know the difference.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I would like to sit down and do a taste test of bottled water and see if we really can tell the difference.
But my friend maintains that she can.
Yeah, no, I think I can see that.
Because then we were talking about how this one is wild to me. Alex says he can't taste the difference between peppers. Like a red pepper and a green pepper. Really? I'm just like, they are so different.
Yeah, they are completely different.
I don't have a refined palate at all, but do not give me green pepper.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you were quite lucky there because you can just give Alex all the green peppers.
Yeah, I guess I feel like whenever I eat places, I'm constantly just giving out free little treats whether people want it or not. Like, you get my pickles.
Hell yeah.
Alex gets my green peppers. I dish out. I share.
I love that.
The things I don't want.
I feel like there's nothing that I give away when I go for a meal. Everything is mine. I'm very selfish.
I wish I could be like that. I wish, maybe that should be my New Year's resolution, is that I try and train myself to like the things I don't like.
Yeah, but that means you'd have to eat olives.
Yeah, and celery.
You don't like celery either?
No. I get it for the bunnies sometimes.
Is it good for bunnies though? Because it's like, you don't want to feed bunnies lettuce because it's just water, right? Is celery not the same sort of thing?
It
is this just sort of nothing?
But as they've got older, like the reason for their low calcium diet is because as bunnies get older, they're more at risk of urinary things. So I've upped the water content of their diet as well to flush them through. Yeah.
Got it. Smart.
I love the way that I will put so much thought and care into the bunny's diet, and then today I forgot to have lunch, and for breakfast I toasted 2 potato waffles. Whereas the bunnies, I'm like, I will spend an hour reading about mineral content for you, my prince, my queen. I love you. Whereas me, I'm just like, well, this has gone out of date a month, but it's probably fine. Just, cut those bits off, I'll eat it.
I was like that with my rats. They would get everything, and I'd be like, whatever. I have whatever.
Yeah.
And then I go eat my food and they're all on top of me like food. I'm like, yes, you can have it.
Just want them to have the best.
Exactly.
For context, Alex and I went out at some point for a day out and we ended up buying bottles of water and I didn't drink mine, which is why I have one in the fridge. And Alex was like, do you want your bottle of water? And I was like, well, no, because now I can save it for if I go out for a big walk. I've already got a bottle of water. And he was like, it'll go off. And I was like, it will not go off for about 15 years. So I think
Bottle
I'm
of water
okay.
won't go off. You'll be fine.
Yeah. He said the plastic will go off.
Nah.
But I was like, they must sit in shops for years, bottles of water.
Maybe.
We're all constantly drinking microplastics anyway.
Exactly. Exactly. Who cares?
What's a few more? Get it
What's
in
a
there.
few more bits of plastic, dude?
Oh, one day I would like to go to a mountain and drink its water. I feel like that would be nice. Like
Yeah.
whatever Highland Spring is from, go to the Highland Spring and drink out of it.
The Highland
The
Spring.
Highland Spring.
The one Highland Spring.
where they get all the water from. I want to go to that one. The one that they put on the bottle.
On the bottle, yeah.
I'm going to go there. We can do it as a video. We can go to the Highland Spring.
Yeah. And then
And,
just have a sip.
Yeah. Or have a glug. Gone all
Would
that way.
You know, like the rock opening videos or rock cutting in half videos they have on like YouTube and Instagram and stuff. I don't know if you've ever seen them. But there are a few where people crack open geodes, so hollow rocks. And sometimes they are anhydro, which means they have water in them that's been sealed in there for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Would you have a sip?
Oh. I guess there wouldn't be anything wrong with it, would there?
I don't know, maybe.
I guess,
Could be something lurking.
yeah, would bacteria have got in there, or would bacteria have... How does bacteria work? Would it just have been festering, or would it have died out by that point?
Oh, I'm not sure. It depends if it's anaerobic or not.
I've got the word Campylobacter in my head. Is that something that you get in water?
I think Campylobacter is more of a stomach bug. Yeah, it gives you diarrhea.
Because what's
But
the
I
one...
mean, it might come. I mean, that doesn't mean it's not in water. I mean, how do you get Campylobacter?
It can be found
Poultry.
in water and is a common cause of
raw or
waterborne
undercooked poultry.
illnesses.
Oh,
Somewhere lurking in my head was Campylobacter. Water source.
what's the other one where the dodgy water diseases? I forgot. Legionnaires. Legionnaires is
Oh.
when I I shouldn't say this, but one of my old jobs, I won't say which, we had to stop using all of the water for a while because they detected legionnaires in the water tanks.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like, yeah, we're going to have to call someone in. Don't use any water from the taps. I was like, what? Okay.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, not great. Not great. But yeah, waterborne disease. I mean, would you get a disease if you drank water from a rock? All right, hang on. Instead of rock, I'll say geode. Geode.
What's the other one that's got like a really funky name that dogs can get if they swim in rivers? I think I'm thinking of leptospirosis. Maybe.
Oh, right.
Lepto's one of the bad ones,
leptospirosis.
isn't it?
Leptospirosis. It's caused by bacteria that affects people and animals. It's spread in the urine. Risk increases after hurricanes or floods when people have contact with contaminated water. So yeah, you can get lepto from water. I am happy to report, though, TikTok has told me that in most cases, bacteria from geodes are not an issue.
Oh.
Unless it's a cracked geode and the water has managed to get into it somehow, then it's external water.
Yeah, I'd give
But if
that
it's
a
water
little...
that was sealed inside of a geode, you're probably fine.
I'd give it a little sippy sip. Stick a straw in there like a coconut.
Hell yeah.
Slurp it out. You know, on our recent Q&A, we were talking about useless abilities you could have, like superpowers. One of the ones I think about, because I said for mine, spoilers, you have to go and listen to the whole thing after this.
Yeah.
But I said for mine that I'd love to be able to pull up any statistic that I want. And one of the ones I think about a lot is when I'm drinking water, I'll be like, have I drunk this water before?
Ooh.
And it's gone all the way through me, through the system, and back into the water somehow after a journey.
I like that. I would love to know that.
Yeah.
Am I drinking piss water? Wow.
Yeah. Apparently, it's from the Ochil Hills is where they get Highland Spring water from.
Is that where the one Highland Spring
That's where
is?
the Highland Spring is. They're lucky they found it and got to claim that one. I imagine there's a shortage. They've got it. It's ours. Oh. Is Highland Spring even the one that it's got a thistle on the front, isn't it? It's not even... Does it even have a Highland on it? Oh, it does actually. It's underneath the text. It does have a little bit of a spring. But isn't there one that the symbol... it's Evian is the one that's got the mountain.
Has that got the... Is it a red mountain? Oh no, red letters with the mountain on top.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew something was red.
Where's that mountain? Where's Evian from?
Know.
Is it the Alps?
Where is Evian from?
Must be
Maybe.
the Alps, right?
It's French.
L'Alps.
L'Alps. L'Alps. On the south shore of Lake Geneva.
Oh, apparently, bottles mineral water from several sources near Evian-les-Bains.
Evian-les-Bains. On the south shore of Lake Geneva.
Wait, Le Bain, it isn't... Does that mean bath? Bath? Because it isn't Salle du Bain. Wait, no. I've learned too much German. It's pushed any French I ever knew out of my head. French translate bain.
It is
It
bath.
does mean... Oh, there you go. I remembered something.
So, does Evian mean anything? No.
Evian, Livian.
It just means the bath of Evian.
Oh my gosh. So it is just bathwater.
Oh my god. No wonder it tastes like poo. What, darling? Tabs is meowing at me and he's brought his Kong toy to me to fill it up with treats.
Oh, mother, please.
Mother, please. What? Oh my god, he's playing with his Kong toy.
Oh.
There's nothing in it. Mother, there's no food.
Oh, he's wasting away, that poor boy.
Oh my goodness.
I learnt the German for water bottle the other day.
Yeah?
Wasserflasche.
Wasserflasche.
Hopefully that'll come in handy when I go out there, if ever I need a bottle of water.
Yeah.
Evian bitter. Although I guess they would have... What's a German water brand? Aqua, apparently. I feel like I have taken us on too many tangents this time.
I feel like I have not helped with that. But that's okay. This is what happens when we record when I'm not well and I can't come up with an excuse for you. I'm sorry.
And I'm mentally unwell.
So what have we talked about? Let's just think about it before we wrap it up.
Fluids
Water bottles
of all varieties.
Fluids, bodily fluids.
Yeah.
Leptospirosis, Legionnaire's disease, drinking
Campylobacter,
mysterious water, Campylobacter,
wrestling,
Tom's shoes,
cats, bapping cats.
Yes.
We've covered a good few bases, I feel.
We have. I think that's pretty good. That's a good day's work.
Yes. Was any of it comforting, dear listeners?
No. Not particularly, especially the bodily fluids part.
You don't have to be in my head. Let that be a comfort to you all.
Oh my god.
It's like the other day when I played Prop Hunt for the first time, and I genuinely couldn't tell where any noises were coming from because I'm so used to just random memes and noises playing in my head that I just assumed it was all going on in there.
It was like, yeah,
Never
is
really
this
occurred
real,
to
or
me.
Is this just me?
That's just me. It's just in there. Oh dear.
Oh boy.
Well,
Well.
thank you everyone
Thank you, and sorry.
for listening, and good night.
Good night.
Thank you, Kirsty, for putting up with me.
Thank you, Briony, for putting up with me.
No, you're an angel.
Oh,
I'm the-
I could be
the
your
devil.
ankle or your devil.
And until next time, everyone, bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.